Hey folks, B59 here. Welcome back to our Piasa Transport playthrough, Transport Fever 2. And we're at the Arkansas River Exchange. And this is the dock we set up at the confluence of the Arkansas River and the Mississippi to get traffic that was coming down here, and rather than make them go all the way down into Vicksburg before they go into Memphis, they could stop here and the Vicksburg-Memphis ferry would pick them up on the way up. And, you know, it does this in multiple directions. The thing is, we used a small dock. Bad news. This is a case where I think a big dock would make a big difference. So what we're going to see if we can do, we don't have any passenger ferries coming soon to pick up all these people. So I think we're going to see if we can preserve them as we reconfigure this Little Rock Exchange. We'll do this, and then we'll talk about some of our other goals for this episode. So let's just dive in. We're going to drop a passenger. Let's see, I was hoping we could get one here. Can we get it to stick out here? Is it going to block our navigable waterways? Lag, it does. So let's try something here. Let's put on pause. We can get that in. This is kind of an evil little trick that may or may not work. And now let's go in and change all of these to Terminal 2. And we'll see all of our passengers scurry through. In the meantime, I need to take it off pause. I wonder if there's any way I can open this up. Looks like we just need to pick off a bit right here. And we'll get the river back in business again. Push this back. That's close. Oh, come on. How about now? There we go. Okay, so we'll take it off pause. Just take a bit of that roughness out. Take it off pause, and now all of our lovely passengers should go streaming over to the other dock. Yes, they're not going to miss a beat. Look at them all. Oh, they're looking good. They're dressed nice, getting ready for a riverboat ride and heading up to Memphis, heading down to Vicksburg, heading somewhere. Okay, let's go in here now and let's see if we can configure this the way we want. And we will first delete these two. Oh, it's so slow. The lag, it burns. Oh, we're not quite getting what we want. What if we do that? And this. Let's see, will this now work? No, but maybe if we go like that. What do we got now? This isn't exactly what we were hoping for. Yeah, I want it to be a little bit further this way. I wonder... I'm going to try something crazy here. Oh, where am I? You know, this would probably do it. If we did this, then we could do that. That would stick out pretty far. And if we stick a landing there, is it gonna block our river? No. So maybe this is what we'll do. It's kind of weird. And we'll get all of these to now the new terminal 2. Send all of our friendly little passengers over. So all of them are over here now. And what we'll do... Oh, this is kind of wild. We could... It's kind of wild. We could have used 2 small docks. But I like the looks of this. And we're going to go back in here and do a little bit of configuration. And, you know, since this is a place, it's not like people can go into town. I wonder if we can get a passenger building in here. Look at that. Now this is just a place where the passengers can go in, grab a burger while they're waiting for their boat. Okay, so that's done. So now let's take... That's kind of a monstrosity. It's okay. It's okay. Let's take a look at the other things we want to accomplish here. First of all, if we look at Little Rock, it's getting some tools, but it's not getting its fuel yet. So what we need to do is modify our New Orleans Tulsa run to, oops, wrong one. To manage the line. To also, let's see, after we leave Vicksburg, so in Vicksburg we're picking up tools and taking them up to Tulsa, okay. But we're also going to add a new station. We're going to add this Little Rock station. And at this Little Rock station, we're going to drop off fuel. And so this will be fuel coming up from New Orleans. So Tulsa loads refined, takes it to New Orleans, turns it into fuel, gets back on the boat, goes up to Vicksburg, picks up some tools for Tulsa, but then it also stops off at Little Rock to drop off some fuel there as well, because these boats are going to, I think, have enough upriver space to do this. So we've got that now set up, but let's check and make sure our line here is going to be able to handle it. We have a tools delivery line that I think I would like to get on the other terminal. So let's do that first. And let's see, that looks better. And that has a rate of 119, and that's just delivering tools. And what we actually see in the city say it's getting is 99. So, you know, not too far off. But but we also now need to add a line for the fuel. And actually, before I do that, I think what I want to do is put the drop-off on the other side of the street. We have 2 drop-offs and our deliveries happen in opposite directions. Actually, though, is this a good spot for that? Yeah, it looks like it captures everything. Except this one. No, I think that's fine for now. If we leave one out, c'est la vie. Okay, so let's create this line that we have at least done that with, and it will go from here to here, and it's going to be carrying fuel. Paint it orange. It looks like it has a nice path, and now we just need to get a few vehicles on it. So we'll get we get 3 to start and see what that does. I don't think we named this one, so we'll also name this line. Delivery Little Rock fuel. And we should probably tell it. Oh. I think we just named the wrong thing. Did we name the... I think we named the station, maybe. We did. We'll have to change it back. But first, let's go ahead and get this set up so we don't forget. And we're going to load fuel at the warehouse. And we'll unload everything at Hickory Street. Okay, let's go back here and rename this. This is our Little Rock warehouse. Little Rock Wharf warehouse. Might be our only one, but let's just make it clear. And that looks fine. Now the other thing I see here is that this dock is full. It's not spilling out yet, but it's full. And if we look at this line, we see that it has a rate of 98. But that's actually not enough to cover everything that we need. Currently, the construction plant there is supplying Vicksburg and Jackson. And those two together need 148. So just about 150. And we're going to end up adding some more towns that this supports later. So at least now, though, this is the Vicksburg Little Rock supply. So it needs to supply Little Rock or Vicksburg, and it needs to supply Jackson, and so it needs another boat. So we're going to go ahead and down here, we're going to add another vehicle to our barge Vicksburg Little Rock line. And we'll get it named as well. Here it comes. Barge, Vicksburg, Little Rock. Okay, so we kind of have this area sort of fixed up now. We're going to be letting things go for a while. And then we're going to come back and see how everything is progressing on this line that we set up last time, this train line, to bring all this together and to start to bring supplies down to Fort Smith. So we'll be checking that out later, but we have another bit of this southern river that we need to fix as well. And this one is just modifying one of our existing lines, and that is to bring tools up to Shreveport. And I think what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and put a cargo harbor in Baton Rouge. It's going to be getting added to the network, not at the moment in terms of any deliveries, but it is going to get added to the network, and so that we can drop off bricks and bread. So I think we can use that as an exchange, kind of like what we did up on the Arkansas River, to drop off tools to be taken up the Red River to Shreveport. So let's take a look at this. I think where we might want to put our harbor is right here. And close to the oil. We're not using this oil at the moment. We may not for a while, because we're bringing the refined oil from other places that need an exchange of fuel. And right now they've got more than enough to supply what these two plants down here need. But at some point we may pull that into play. So for now, we're going to go ahead and set up a cargo harbor right down here. You know, we've got actually have enough room for once that we can actually leave the building up. But I think what we will do is we'll go ahead and tell it we want a large. Hey, look at that. Okay. I think that's fine. Except I'm going to get a little further this way because we're going to have to get... we're going to have to get connected to that road for deliveries, so we can't be too far down. Actually, we pretty much can, to be honest, because we're going to put just a tendril connection up to a... in fact, you know, maybe, let's see, how big is that going to end up being? Getting sidetracked here. But if we do, as I'm thinking, and put a... what does that look like? We can even get it in without taking out any buildings. You know what? Because it's important for the placement of our harbor, I'm going to go ahead and get that in now as well. And we'll be ready when we need it. And now we can turn around and put this in maybe right here. Yeah, this is actually a better spot now. Very tricky, huh? I think that will be the ticket. And just for grins, let's see if we can get our buildings connected with a little bit of roadway. So we have a little bit of roadway there. So that connects, but I can't see that it's necessary. Oh, I gotta go a little bit. Can I get any further? Oh, I can. Look at that. This is great. Okay, so that's it. But, you know, we did more than we're planning to do with it today, but that's okay. So let's do two things. First, we're going to put a new line, and this is going to be a slightly inefficient line for now, but, you know, who cares? We'll make it kind of a light blue for the tools, and we will run between Vicksburg and Baton Rouge. And in Vicksburg, we're going to load tools, and in Baton Rouge, we're going to unload tools. And then let's name this. This is a barge. Vicksburg to Baton Rouge. Tools. And I think what I'm probably going to do up here in Vicksburg is maybe create a new line for it. But while we're waiting for that, let's go ahead and get a boat on this. And we'll get a riggy, barge, Vicksburg, Baton Rouge, tools. And then let's also modify the Shreveport run to when it leaves New Orleans. At New Orleans, it drops off its refine and picks up fuel, and we'll add a new station after that here at Baton Rouge. And at Baton Rouge, the only thing we'll do is load tools. And then we'll also reconfigure the Shreveport one to, oops, I didn't mean to do that, to unload tools as well as refined fuel. There we go. And then let's see, do we have delivery here in Shreveport? We are set up for it. Okay, this is, we're only getting 20% of our supply of refined fuel, or of fuel, yeah. So that's why all these trucks are just sitting here being bored. I'm going to end up putting about half of these trucks on the tool line. So let's also set up a tool line here. And do we care if it's on the same side of the street? We can use the same drop-off for this one. And it looks like we're going to need to use some waypoints as well, but let's get it set up. So this is a new line. It will run from here to here. And it will be this kind of blue tools color. And yeah, what we want it to do is after it leaves the Shreveport Wharf warehouse, we want it to go up to, let's see. Oh, let's see, where is the... Is this the one we want it to take? Yeah. And then after the truck drop-off, we want it to come through here. So it'll use the same line as the fuel line. We will name this delivery tools, Shreveport tools. This maybe could have been all one line. But that's not what we're going to do. So we've 10 vehicles here. We're going to take half of them and move them to the tools delivery. And you know, these are all going through town. I'm going to go ahead and improve their maintenance. And the same is true here. You know, some people will change it to very high for a while till they get in good shape and then move them back again. I find that too fiddly. So I just, for the ones that are going to go through town, I try to just keep them all on a high maintenance and sort of a mediocre condition. Otherwise, too much fiddling. All right, so I think that's going better. Now, let's see. We did get our extra boat on the Vicksburg Little Rock line, so hopefully that'll pick up deliveries here. And just as a little preview of what's coming next time, we have a bunch of towns now that need bread that aren't getting it. Baton Rouge, Vicksburg, Jackson, and Lake Charles. And we have this food processing plant in Lake Charles. What we're going to end up doing here is we're going to use this plant to supply all of these towns. And that means we're going to have to bring 4 of these farms to bear, because each farm does a 200, but it turns into 100 food, and these 4 towns are going to eventually together probably need, close to 400 food. Maybe not at first. I think at first it might be about half, maybe a little more than half that, but still they're going to grow and they're going to need more food, and we might find some other uses for it too. So we'll also then bring food down from here down the river, and from here down the river, and maybe from here down the river, or here. I mean, so we have some places we can bring it down from. And there'll be some river trips. So that'll be in the offing for next time. But let's, as a final thing here, let's go back and take a look at the train line we set up last time. And first of all, let's just see what the supplies are doing here in Oklahoma City. We're starting to get some fuel delivered up from New Orleans and a little bit of tools, although not much yet. But we don't have any waiting. So I think that means that it's not a deficiency in the train line that we set up. We do have a bunch of food waiting to go out for delivery. 66 at the moment. Let's see, where is our train? The train is down here getting ready to head up with a load of grain and bricks. That's pretty good. And they're getting delivered here. Tulsa is getting 19 of 72 and 14 of 68, so that's a start. And what about Fort Smith? Are you getting any delight? Yeah, look, so 9 and 23. So this barge line is working. We're getting deliveries here in Fort Smith. It's not being held up. And it's all looking pretty good. How are some passengers? 52 passengers here. 26 there. 12 here. And let's see, where is our passenger line? Here it is. And it's full. It carries 32. So it had to leave a bunch of people behind. I wonder if we can put another car on here, and I think we should try to do that. And let's see. Right now, it's mediocre. 47 and 112 seconds. That's not fast. If we add another car to it, 47 and 131 seconds. That's not much different. So let's go ahead and get that in, and that'll increase our capacity on that line by 50%. Okay, folks. Well, thank you for joining me again. And let's just kick and grins. Let's follow these two trains a bit. That's very nice. I need to come in here with the asset painter and get rid of all the grass on the tracks. But you know, here we are going through the wheat fields, cornfields here, I guess. The Midwest. You know, it really feels like it too. Okay, folks, thank you very much. I will see you next time.